So what does this all mean for you at home? That the BCHydro 25.5% rate increase is coming, or that the BCHydro smart grid is being implemented around you whether you like it or not? Well, it means that today you went to work and you got paid a little bit less. In fact, you got paid a lot less because of the constant nickel and diming. And it's not even nickels and dimes anymore. We're talking even beyond loonies and toonies here that they're taking from your pockets. You're going to work to pay for the electricity that you use at home. Only when you're paying for the electricity that you use at home, you're also paying a vast overpayment that they're just delivering to the government. This year alone, $245 million BCHydro customers were overcharged just to give to the government. When it peaks in 2017, and that's just right now that they say it's going to peak, it's going to be $481 million. There's nothing more permanent than a temporary government program. These guys are like crack addicts. Only instead of crack, they're not addicted to crack. They're addicted to your tax dollars, your labor, your money. It doesn't matter if you think that you could spend that money better, wiser. It doesn't matter if you had that money planned for saving for your retirement, or going on a well-deserved vacation, or helping your children go to school, or going to school yourself, or funding a charity, or starting a business, or expanding your business. Because the Keynesians inside the British Columbia legislature are treating us like children, and like we don't know how to best spend our money. All of this stuff is taken directly out of the economy and put into the hands of people that have been proven time and time and time again that they mismanage the money, they misspend the money, and they reward their corporate buddies, whether they're NDP or Liberal. There's always companies that come up on top. There's always these guys ready to rake in these big contracts and get rich off of our labor, off of our time that we spend away from our families, that we spend away from our hobbies and doing what we love just so that we can survive. Well, today it just got a little bit harder to survive in British Columbia. This has to stop. This has to stop. We need politicians that are willing to stand up and say, no, we're going to cut some costs at British Columbia's hydro company. We are not going to have this vast amount of people making $100,000 a year when BCHydro can't keep its own budget in check. $266 million a year on staff for BCHydro is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Overcharging us $245 million a year this year just to give it to the government is criminal. Criminal. BCHydro exists to give us power, electricity, not to fund the government. Same with ICBC. They should not be giving these dividends to the government. That is a tax. That is a tax. And they're hiding this tax in fees and user fees. There needs to be some changes. I would recommend a public sector wage cap. And I'm not talking about the hard-working guys that are out there in the rain, the hard-working BCHydro employees that are fixing our power when there's snowstorms, windstorms, rainstorms, and they're out there fixing the power. They deserve to be paid well because they do a great job. Charles Reid, on the other hand, I think he should take a 25% pay cut. The 4 VPs under him, another 25% pay cut. Anybody making over $100,000, 25% pay cut. You guys have proven that you cannot live within your means, and so you deserve to be punished. It's not like we're taking 25% off of somebody on social assistance. That's barely squeaking by. It's not like we're taking 25% off somebody making minimum wage, who again is barely squeaking by. These guys are overpaid. They're not doing the job that they're supposed to do. If you're making $100,000 a year, you could still survive on $75,000 a year. British Columbia is in trouble. We're overtaxed. We're deep in debt. It's time for a debt jubilee. Wipe out any fraudulent debt that is not actual currency, that is fraudulently created through private banks on this Ponzi scheme of fractional reserve lending, because it's not real money. Wipe it out. Debt jubilee. Then we can start looking at where all of these costs and largesse is going to. When you're overtaxed, you are not contributing to the economy as efficiently as you believe you should be. That money is going to Keynesians who treat you like children, who think that they know better than you, in numerous ways. And they overpay themselves for doing this service to you. It's time to switch it back to public service, not public masters. If you have comments or questions about today's show, contact us. Send us an email. You can find us at freedomfreeforall.com. We are changevictoria.org. We'd be glad to answer your questions. We'd be glad to air your opinions. Send us your emails. Tell me what you think I've got wrong or how I'm right. This is Josh Steffler with Freedom Free for All Television. Be safe and be free.